Live from the Scripps Studios, this is 10 News.
In less than an hour, new city rules will kick in that will put San Diego's nightlife to a screeching halt. Both county and city leaders announced sweeping new public health rules to help stop the spread of the coronavirus. Good evening. I'm Steve Atkinson.
And I'm Lindsay Pena in for Kimberly Hunt. Our 10 News reporter Anthony Pura is in the gas lamp where bars and restaurants are preparing for those changes.
Earlier this evening, officers made their way through the Gaslamp district, visiting as many bars and restaurants as they can. They handed them this notice, letting them know about the new laws that will take effect at midnight and last through the end of the month. City officials on Monday laying down strict new rules to combat the spread of the coronavirus, directing bars and nightclubs to close their doors at midnight. Restaurants will still be allowed to prepare food for delivery, takeout, or drive-through, but dining in will no longer be an option. The mayor says it was a tough decision, but it ultimately came down to protecting people.
It's about saving lives, and this is about taking all the steps that are prudent and necessary.
In Pacific Beach, known for its vibrant nightlife, signs outside of bars saying they're now closed. The Gaslamp district also noticeably quiet on the eve before St. Patrick's Day, traditionally a big day for bars and restaurants.
My friend's visiting me right now, and we planned on going to all these restaurants and touring around the city, but it feels like something's going on, something's stirring up, and it's pretty weird that we can't go anywhere out to eat.
Officers began visiting bars and restaurants, telling them about the new rules and asking for their cooperation.
We understand the financial hardships, but what we're asking for is think big picture, think about wellness of this community.
The city is also banning gatherings of more than 50 people. Officers will be enforcing that, along with the new bar and restaurant rules.
Whether it be a complaint driven or if officers see a bar that they know is supposed to be closed, they will use a health and safety code section to do enforcement.
The fire chief also saying the coronavirus has forced first responders to change their safety protocols.
Taking the extra precautions with the masks, the goggles, the gowns. No longer are we sending all 4 people in to assess this until we get a better idea of exactly what we're dealing with.
The council president says the city council will call an emergency meeting on Tuesday to pass a comprehensive package aimed at relief for people hit financially by the coronavirus. The package will include protections for individuals and businesses against evictions, as well as several actions to ease the blow of coronavirus. Anthony Pura, 10 News.
New restrictions will be similar for places governed by San Diego County. Gatherings of 50 or more people, they are strictly prohibited. Bars that serve alcohol but not food, they must close by midnight tonight. Restaurants cannot seat people. No dine-in eating. They can still serve takeout or delivery. All businesses are urged to practice social distancing. Keep people at least 6 feet away from each other. And university and schools, they must close. That means many daycare centers that planned on staying open will now have to close. County Supervisor Nathan Fletcher says even if we can't gather together, we can still act together as a community.
And we're asking people to have a shared sense of purpose. Every single one of us has within our control the ability to slow the spread of the coronavirus.
County health officials revealed they can still only test around 120 people each day. They hope to ramp up that number to about 500 per day by next week.
Some breaking news now. A sailor at Naval Base Point Loma has tested positive for the coronavirus. The Navy made that announcement just 2 hours ago. The sailor tested positive after self-reporting that he came in contact with someone else who tested positive. The Navy says he is in self-isolation at his home and is not showing any symptoms. He is the 3rd sailor and 5th active duty member in San Diego to test positive.
All right, at the stroke of midnight, the most stringent public health orders in the country will take effect in the Bay Area. Residents there, they have been ordered to shelter in place.
10 News anchor Derek Stahl spoke with a San Diego native living in the lockdown zone, and he joins us now. Derek.
Well, guys, these orders are turning daily life upside down for millions of people in these 7 counties. These areas are the hardest hit by the virus in the state, with at least 3 deaths in just the last 2 days. I spoke with one woman in Alameda County who thinks San Diegans should prepare in case similar orders take effect here.
Oh my gosh, it was insane.
Oakland resident Katrina Cameron says just minutes after news surfaced of the Bay Area's shelter-in-place order, she rushed to her local grocery store, only to find a lot of people had the same idea.
I stood in line for 40 minutes. They're out of most canned goods, toilet paper, and Yeah, but everyone is really nice, which is great. You know, people were helping each other out. People were asking, is there anything like I can grab for you as the line, extended into the frozen aisle?
The sweeping shelter-in-place order affects nearly 7 million people in 7 counties. Residents can only leave their homes for food, medicine, and exercise for the next 3 weeks.
These measures will be disruptive to day-to-day life, but there is no need to panic. Essential government services like our police, our fire, our transit, and sanitation will continue.
Bars and gyms will close at midnight, but people will still be allowed to make trips to essential businesses like banks, pharmacies, gas stations, and grocery stores. San Francisco's police chief says his department is looking for voluntary compliance and doesn't plan to issue fines or make arrests.
Yes, by law, enforcement is an option, but that is not our desire. That is not what we intend to do. We intend to adhere to the spirit of what this is all about and keeping people safe.
The order tells most people to work from home unless they provide essential services, something Cameron has done since last week.
Staying inside for this amount of time gets pretty lonely. And my work has definitely even done like virtual happy hours to check in with each other, or just 5-minute Skype chats. That way we can still have that human interaction.
A native of Imperial Beach, she says a lot of her San Diego area friends have called with questions. Her message?
Yeah, just be prepared. But don't freak out. Keep in mind, too, that you are able to go to grocery stores. So I don't think it makes sense to panic purchase, all the soup in the aisles.
Now, health officials in the Bay Area do say that people can still go outside for a hike or to walk the dog, but they're urging people to maintain that 6 feet of separation. Meantime, Katrina Cameron tells me that she's worried about some aspects of this, including nonprofit animal rescues. There's one near her, and it's racing to find fosters for animals as a lot of their volunteer workers have been sent home. Derek Stahl, 10 News.
That's a very good point. Derek, thank you. California Governor Gavin Newsom said the number of coronavirus cases in California is now at 392. That number includes 6 deaths. He also announced an executive order to stop evictions for renters and homeowners. That new order is to protect California residents who can't keep up with their rents or their mortgages because of the coronavirus. The protections are in place until at least May 31st.
California is expected to lose 280,000 jobs as the U.S. economy now enters a recession. That's according to economists with the UCLA Anderson forecast. 2020 started off well, but they say the coronavirus pandemic this month will cause the gross national product to go down by 6.5%. They say California faces a severe downturn because it relies on tourism and trans-Pacific transportation.
California State University and San Diego State, they have issued new mandates to their campuses. This comes after Governor Newsom called for home isolation of everyone over the age of 65 in California. All CSU employees in that age group, they must stay off campus and away from the chancellor's office. Those who can't work from home will be put on administrative leave with pay at their current rate. Now, San Diego State is also directing all students and employees to stay off of campus, remain home, and self-isolate.
Well, right now, Times Square in New York is a ghost town because of the COVID-19 pandemic. This just all part of the drastic measures taken to prevent the spread of the virus. Those measures now include new travel restrictions, including from the United Kingdom and Ireland. Inez de la Cutara in Washington has more.
President Trump today announcing tougher guidelines to fight the novel coronavirus outbreak.
Avoid gathering in groups of more than 10 people, avoid discretionary travel, and avoid eating and drinking at bars, restaurants, and public food courts.
Drastic new measures implemented around the country. New Jersey becoming the first state to implement a curfew. The restaurant industry taking a big hit. At least 10 states shutting down dine-in service.
It's impossible to know how long this threat will continue. What I do know is that we cannot afford to wait to take action.
To help the economy, the Federal Reserve now lowering interest rates to near 0%. But that move prompting the S&P 500 index to decline by 7% this morning, triggering a 15-minute trading halt. Later, the Dow Jones Industrial Average plunging 2,999 points. All the while, Trump insisting
The market will take care of itself. The market will be very strong as soon as we get rid of the virus.
There is some good news. The first vaccine trial for COVID-19 beginning today in Seattle, though it could take more than a year to approve.
To have any vaccine that we can actually initiate a clinical trial in about 2 months is unprecedented.
Ohio's governor is now recommending that the state's primary, which was set to be held tomorrow, instead be postponed until June 2nd, while officials in Arizona's largest county, Maricopa, have closed 1/3 of their polling sites. Inez de la Cuetara, ABC News, Washington.
And across the globe, there are now more than 180,000 cases of the coronavirus. That includes more than 4,500 cases here in the United States. More than 78,000 people have recovered so far, mostly in China. More than 7,100 people have died from the virus worldwide.
Now it's time to get a check of the weather. Our meteorologist Angelica Campos is tracking another storm bringing some heavy rain tonight.
That's right. We're also trying to practice some social distancing here. Angelica is joining us over the phone from home. And Angelica, we understand it's raining out there pretty good right now.
It's coming down pretty good, guys. That rain, just the sound of it. Thankfully, a lot of people don't have to be out traveling or driving to work. With fewer people out, it'll make it better for those who do have to be out there. But that rain, again, coming down pretty heavy. Let me show you a close-up into the North County. You can see, or in the South Bay, you can see there's some pretty heavy rain. La Jolla making its way into Mission Valley, San Diego. And as we backtrack here a little bit, there it is in the North County. Heavy rain moving out of Oceanside right along the 76, but is pushing through areas like Ensenada, Solana Beach. You can see those areas with the brighter colors, the yellows and the oranges, indicating some pretty heavy rain. We are expecting this rainfall to be mostly overnight, but for anyone who does have to be out there early in the morning, expect problems to be in the mountains as far as rainfall rates, averaging about 1/4 of an inch. That's how much we are expecting around the county. Snow also in the mountains with a winter weather advisory. I'll show you how long that winter weather advisory is going to be in effect for, and also how much more rain we could see throughout the week.
All right, thank you, Angelica.